So I decided last night, September the 7th, 2017, to give a shot to Foxborough Gillette Stadium. And I arrived there at the parking lot 15, right in front of the Bass Pro Shops at around midnight. And this is a screenshot I got from the app at the very moment. And at that time, there were people come out of the stadium, and the first thing I noticed was that there wasn't any search. So I decided to wait. I did see a lot of Uber drivers in the parking lot, and I figure, well, perhaps when the game is over and people start getting busy, getting into their cars, then the search is going to come up. But time went on, and I noticed that the search wasn't forming like it normally forms at the stadium, because I've been there before at the U2 concert, and I noticed how it behaved, so I figured there was going to be about the same. Now, I did notice that a lot of people got this incentive, and that created a real interest on most drivers here in the Boston area to go down to Gillette and sit there at lot 15, and there were at least 500 cars in there waiting. And but I figure, 500 cars, 70,000 people, there's going to be a lot of requests. Don't worry, it's going to search, and then we're going to all get some work from here going to whatever. So anyway, I started noticing the search forming up, and right around 12:30, this is how it looked. Okay, right there where I was sitting, there was no search, but outside that parking lot area, the search started forming. Now, I was like, why isn't the search forming right here where we are standing? I mean, it seems like, to me at the time, it seemed like Uber had just prevented us from getting the search, right? Because Walpole and outside that parking lot area, everything was, surging. Not as I expected, but it still was surging. But as time went on, the search started melting away, and it disappeared completely, like around 1 a.m. in the morning, 1:10. At that time, I decided to set the filter and see if at least I could get something going back into Boston, because I live right here in Chelsea. So I didn't get anything. I started getting concerned, like, oh man, this is not happening. I came all the way down here to get a ride, only one ride, because that's all you can do when you go to Gillette. You can only get one ride. There's no way that you can go back to the city and then come right back again, because by the time you come back again, if you manage to get out of that traffic without any hitches, then everybody is gonna be gone. So you only get one shot. This is like a sniper maneuver. You only get one shot. So anyway, I held to my guns to the very last minute, when I started looking around and I saw everybody was almost gone, and nobody was sitting there waiting for anybody, and neither the drivers, neither the passengers. And there were very few passengers there looking at their phones. And I said, like, I better get something going, because if not, I'm just gonna be a wasted night, and I needed one more ride to complete my promotion. So anyway, at around 1:11 in the morning, I finally, said, forget about it. If I don't turn this on and get at least a ride, it's going to be a waste of time and gas for me. So I'm just going to take whatever they throw at me. And this is what I got. a ride from the pickup zone at Gillette Lot 15 all the way to Brockton. 17 miles at regular Uber X price for $28.40. It took me an hour to get there. I dropped these ladies at around 2:30 in the morning. And that was it. You know, I spent almost 3 hours to get one ride for $28 off Gillette Stadium. Okay, that's my story, and that's why I made this video, and I wanted to share it with you guys, because if you go back to Gillette Stadium on the next game for the Patriots, this could be where you're going to be facing a super overloaded parking lot with 500, 700 Uber drivers, and we all concentrated in a parking lot, right? And the riders come from the stadium into that parking lot and turn their apps on, and there's so many drivers and so many people with their apps on, and this situation creates the perfect storm for not getting any kind of surge pricing. So I'm done with it. I'm not going back there. I'm not risking going back there to Gillette again, because I don't want to be sitting there for 3 hours and driving, out of those 3 hours, driving for 1 hour just to realize that I'm going to end up making what I could make here in Boston, or, you know, within half hour, you know, and I don't have to put 40 miles or 60 miles like I did last night into my car for getting $28, not counting the time that you sit there waiting. So take a look at this, you know, ask any questions and share it with other drivers, because I'm doing this because I don't want anybody else to fall for this trap. The way they have it laid out is not worth it. Okay, they're sending all this information to all the riders for the riders to go to this specific area where all the drivers are, and there's so many cars that the search just doesn't develop. So we are all screwed, and at the end, no one got a search from that parking lot last night. Okay, nobody. Oh, and another thing. In order to qualify for this 50 ride from Gillette, you had to have taken a passenger between 10 p.m. and midnight. And the game didn't end until past midnight. So if you didn't get a ride at that time, then you're not gonna get this bonus. Like I won't get it because I took the ride at 1 a.m. in the morning. So I'm not even gonna get compensated this $22 extra to round it up to a $50. So this is what I ended up taking last night home. I could have made this kind of money if I would have stayed here in Boston. Okay, so be aware that this is how they are running the show at Gillette. These people from Uber, according to one of the buddies I have in a group I belong in Facebook called Uber and Lyft drivers, Userve or something like that. I can't remember the name. It's a very complicated name. But anyway, he made me realize that the way they have set up this meeting at the parking lot is not working. The search is not creating the demand on the searches. It's just not being triggered. So you're gonna be sitting there, you know, waiting for the search to come, and it will never come, and everybody will vanish. And at the end, you're gonna have to take whatever ride they throw at you. And this is what happened to me last night. Okay, so I am not looking forward to go back to Foxborough anymore, because if you know, this is it's not worth it. I mean, what makes it worth to go there to Gillette is the fact that you can get a nice ride, you know, going back to Boston using the filter and get a surge pricing. Okay, because that way you can compensate for the 2 or 3 hours that's going to take you to go there and get out of there and come back to, to your home. So, I mean, if you're not going to get a search and you're going to get $28, you might as well stay in Boston and make that money here, and you don't have to put all those miles and all that time into getting this much. It's not worth it. Okay? So, please share this with other Uber drivers and let them realize that this could happen to them. And the way it happened to me, I mean, I will hate anybody else getting screwed like this. All right? Take care and thank you. Be safe out there.